Hello everyone, I want again to welcome you to this very important lesson. Remember, in the third module, we have so far covered five topics, and we are yet to go to the sixth one, which of course we are going to focus on the use of assistive technology, of course in relation to the hearing impairment in the 21st century. So as we prepare for this very important lesson, let me just maybe to have a summary of what we have covered. So in our first topic, we discussed about, of course, introduction to disability, where we had to discuss about different meanings of different terms. And we did also discuss about the types of disabilities, as of course stated in the course outline. We also did mention about a very important item in this topic about people with special needs. And then, of course, we had a summary on developmental delay, which is very important to us as interpreters, as we yearn to work with the people with disabilities or the deaf community in general. We must be able or in position to explain every need that surrounds this beautiful community, so that we are able not only to interpret and relate or link in communication, but also be able to guide families, the society, on how to identify maybe some of the delays in a child that might lead to having an impairment, so that the early inventions are of course addressed, of course, to ensure that the society is brought up in the manner that it's supposed to be. So our next topic was about introduction to hearing impairment, where we did discuss about meaning of different terms, the causes of disabilities, of course the hearing impairment to be specific. We also did discuss about the case study, so that we as interpreters, we are able to understand fully a society or a family or a community that we are working together with. We also discussed about classification, of course, of deafness, where we did mention about based on, of course, severity, the type and configuration. Then, of course, in summary, we finished on the general support. We are supposed to ensure that we avail the deaf community so that they are able to live in a peaceful way with others in the society. So as we continue discussing these elements of course, the third module, we have to put in mind that we as interpreters, we are the link between, of course, the hearing impairment or the deaf community with the hearing community, so that we have that reduced misunderstanding between the two groups, so that the society can be a better place for everyone to live. And then, of course, we also did discuss about the third topic, that is advanced communication, whereby we gave the general meanings of different terms, and we also talked about the codes of spoken languages. We did also mention about very important thing, of course, in relation to an interpreter, that we have baby sign language, we have the home sign language, and of course the primate use of sign language, which you have to understand in order to be able to address some of the challenges, of course, facing the deaf community. Then, of course, lastly, we talked about the gestural theory of human language origin, where we discuss a number of things which, of course, are very important to to us interpreters to be able to incorporate the society of the deaf community, of course, with the hearing community, to be able to live in a better way. So in the fourth topic, we discussed about fundamental strategies of voicing, whereby we did discuss about various techniques of voicing and ways on how to improve voicing. So remember, we as interpreters, we are not only required to interpret, but also to voice in some situations, of course. And we did also discuss about different types of speech that we engage in. So as an interpreter, as you prepare to perform your duties, remember there are different speakers and you have no choice but to practice as much as you can so that you fit in any of the occasions. Then we discuss about errors that we oftenly as interpreters make during interpretation, which of course we have to find a way of reducing so that we do not hurt the deaf community. Then lastly, of course, we discussed the general ways of improving on interpretation skills, which of course creates confidence in us so that we are able to deliver the message to our brothers and sisters in the best way possible. Now, in our last topic, we discussed about, of course, interpretation 1, which we are hoping after this we'll engage ourselves in interpretation 2, of course, which is a better form of advanced interpretation. So in this very topic, we discussed about narrowly about the meaning of different terms, and of course we talked about also different specialized interpretation, and of course types of interpreters, and lastly the basic modes of interpretation, which of course we discussed that we as sign language interpreters, we are not supposed to interpret anywhere, but only we take assignments where we can be able to deliver in the best way possible. So if you are a medic and you are an interpreter, that area you have to perfect so that you deliver the messages to the patients or to anyone involved within that specialization in the best way possible. If you are working in the legal sector, if you're working in the media, among other things, so make sure as an interpreter you not just accept an assignment because you want to be there to be seen, but rather you take assignments that you are able to deliver to the deaf community, because this is a service. This is a service, and remember, serving humanity, we are serving God. So make sure that you don't create that tension in the deaf community by giving a wrong interpretation. Otherwise, as we prepare for the next lesson, which of course we are going to discuss more about the use and adaptation of assistive technology, of course, in relation to the deaf community. So I want to make a request to all of us who are taking this course that we must have passion for our deaf brothers and sisters and to ourselves. You know, when you love yourself, you will love also everyone, and you'll be able to express your skills, your professionalism in anything that you do. So let us keep in mind that what we are about to discuss requires our full involvement so that we are able to understand some of the adapted assistive technology that we can be able to use within the deaf community. So as we summarize, I want of course to have a look at a clip that of course displays how some of the interpreters are creating of course chaos and embarrassment both to the deaf community and of course the interpreters. So I said that if you can't manage an assignment, it's not a must that you have to interpret. There are so many interpreters in the country. So take the assignment that you can be able to manage when it comes to interpretation, of course, and giving the appropriate message. Otherwise, let someone else take it who understands the occasion in the most better way than yourself, than taking an assignment and creating a chaos. So can we have a look at this? Now, you have seen the type of embarrassment I'm talking about that is caused by some of the interpreters. You interpret in such like a manner, then after the service, you go out and say, I wish you were there. My interpretation was perfect. Which perfection are you talking about? That's an embarrassment to yourself and the deaf community, and of course the interpreters in general. You are humiliating yourself plus the community. And remember, this is a service. So you don't have to interpret in an occasion that you know you cannot deliver. Leave it to someone else. Behave. So be a professional that delivers the message and behaves in the manner that the code of ethics and recreation for the interpreters want from us. Otherwise, we go on doing that, we are embarrassing ourselves. So as we plan for the next topic, kindly let us work together. God bless you.